Our very special guest, Ana Lily Amirpour. Come on. Water. A cool, refreshing drink.
High chair.
It is a high chair.
I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get my mojo on up here.
Just swing back and forth. Was anybody not at the screening last night? Anybody here not at the screening? Oh boy. Okay, well you missed the greatest thing ever. But that's cool. You have your whole life ahead of you, and I hope it's better than the life you've led so far, which has been a waste. Let's face it. But we're here to talk about some of the same things, and also to kind of go in depth about some of the filmmaking stuff. So, Lily, tell us. What's your deal?
Nice opener.
Where'd you come from? How'd you get into all this? Like at some point you weren't making films, now you are. How did all this happen for you?
I'm out of my mother's vagina.
All right. We don't need to start quite that far back, but let's fast forward maybe a few years. That was an important moment, and I don't blame you for bringing it up.
What really was?
Yeah.
I made my first film when my dad got this Sony Sport camera when I was 12, and I edited it in camera. It was a horror movie about a girl who killed everybody, and there was like 5 girls in a slumber party, and my friend Laura was the killer, and she had this big white nightgown and a knife, and she went through and killed the other 5 girls. I was in it too.
Mm-hmm.
It was good.
And that taught you, that kind of, for many people, I think when you make your first film, it kind of makes you realize, it makes you watch movies differently forever after.
I didn't even think of it like that though. I just liked movies and I just wanted to do it, you know? Like I didn't think, like, I'm Iranian and like, it's not cool to be an artist or something. That's like the worst thing you could do. So I actually never thought of it like that.
Now you say you're Iranian, and it's not cool to be an Iranian and to be an artist, but like, certainly your parents.
It's not cool for your parents.
You're not cool for your parents, but your parents.
My parents are like, oh, you're artistic, you can be a plastic surgeon. For real.
Do you enjoy a greater level of support now from your relatives?
Yeah, now everything's cool.
Yeah, because you've proven that you can do it and go out and be a success.
Yeah, I mean, I'm too insane to have done anything else. So I was in a privileged position because I knew a lot of Iranian kids I grew up with that were like, they could function in like the science, like in pre-med or pre-law or something. But when I first went to college, I was a biology major and I would sit in the class and like, I had no idea what was going on. So then I left the class and ate mushrooms. It's true.
And that's education in itself too.
Then I dropped out of college. And then I went and lived in the woods in Colorado.
How long did you live in the woods in Colorado?
I wrote my parents a letter while I was like eating a lot of mushrooms, telling them that I'd figured out like what was going on Earth. Really shitty letter to get.
Was that? Do you think was that just...
This isn't helping anyone figure out anything about it.
But I think it is. I think because it sets us up to know like who you are and just how weird you are and stuff. Like which if we didn't... Not everybody realizes you can be like super weird and then like achieve your dreams. Like a lot of people think... The reason I think it's important is that a lot of people think that you've got to really change yourself.
I think being super weird is my dream. So like I don't really have a delineation between what I do and what I want to... It's all one amorphous like thing, like you know.
I think that's so interesting to hear that because I've always really believed that about like real artists is like their dream is not to go and succeed.
Real artists.
Like really good artists who really communicate and really make a connection.
Yeah.
Is that like what they're doing is like they're not at no point to go, I really want to get in this poetry business.
Yeah.
I gotta like it's just that it happens because like in your soul like it begins to happen.
Yeah.
And it's so for
I've just been making shit since I'm like 4 years old. So I know that. I just always have been making shit. So it's like just finding a way to be able to keep doing that and subsidize doing that that like really in the end, we were talking about this yesterday, it's like at the core, I feel like I'm just an inventor. And like, I was talking about Doc Brown, but it's really true. Like, Doc Brown is the person that makes the most sense, and he is a lunatic, and he's alone in a shed. And the only reason he makes that shit is because he wants it to exist. And like, so it's really, truly selfish. He's got nobody. He's got Einstein, he's got his dog, and he's got Marty, you know? And if the DeLorean doesn't work, he is just a lunatic. So he's got to get it to work. But he's also like, in Back to the Future, like there's a opening of Back to the Future 1, there's a shitload of inventions in there. And he's been making shit, you know, it's not like he just started with the DeLorean.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you make it, then all the people want it. It's like some Bruce Lee shit.
Is everybody in the back getting this? Can you hear this? Okay, good. Like, I think that's like the greatest thing that I've ever heard anybody say about like the artistic temperament, is that you've got to be like Doc Brown and you've got to be an inventor. And like, does anybody look and say, oh, Doc Brown's really dying to make a fortune at this?
No, he's not doing it for NASA. No one's like, he's not like working for a think tank. You couldn't put him in a conference room. He would know, you can't do that to him. He just does it for himself. Like, you know, he wants to find a way to make the garbage make him be able to go travel in time. That's fucking lunatic logic. But then he does, and Biff wants it, and he wants it, and everybody wants it, you know? And then they go and take it once it exists and ruin human existence with it. But that's not Doc's problem.
Yeah. Doc does his part, everybody else, they kind of play their part as well in a way.
Really, and then in the end, it's like, but the bigger picture is that Doc needs to find love. That's what he does in number 3.
That takes us a little bit out of the purview of the MovieMaker dialogue, but I think it's important to watch all 3 Back to the Future movies. But here we need roads, and we need a road into where we're going.
Back to the Future is my Citizen Kane. I hate Citizen Kane. I don't give a shit about that movie. You know, I had to watch it a bunch. There was a film studies class. I went to film school. I got my grad in screenwriting at UCLA, and I remember they made us watch Citizen Kane and write about it. And I was just sitting there in a room like this and just kind of looking around. I just felt really suspicious. Like, why is everyone nodding and looking so alert? Like, does this really, it didn't move me. I didn't get it. Maybe if I was like a person of the time when it came, I'd be impressed with things that I hadn't seen before. But like, for me, it just leaves me bonerless. So I was just like, but Back to the Future is like, for me, it's this like thing of filmmaking and like, ba, 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 ba. It's just like, oh, glorious.
You talk about this phenomenon of the artistic boner, and I think everybody kind of laughs, and it's like take it as a joke in a way, but it's like,
earnest.
I know, I realize that. Like it's like really, it's like the way that like.
And how many times on set, it's like we'd just be setting up a shot or something, and literally I'm looking, and I'm like, I feel nothing. I'm flaccid. Like, this isn't right. Or swing, like, like, it's not a paraphrasing either. That's like,
that's it's
and
getting.
everybody gets it then. It's like, I am not, you know.
It's like the divining rod for where like the truth is, or like where like the like where like the juice is.
You get a lens, you have this set, and you're like looking at everything, and it's like, nothing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like.
So was there like a whole like day of shooting where you just never got a boner, and you're just like, how do you get through that?
You have to find your boner. You have to keep looking for it. You can't just give up. Like, your job is I consider it my job.
Yeah.
Like, I'm basically like a porn star. I have to.
You have to have a boner.
Do it. Yeah. So it's like, I would just keep looking. Sometimes you don't have time, as much time as you would like to have to look. So you have to know yourself. I think you can like conjure a boner if you really know yourself. I think if you're lying to yourself, sex is always the perfect metaphor. Because if if you fake it at all, then like where are you gonna end up? And it's like that. You're in an intimate situation. You know, you gotta get it out.
Who are some of your influences? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, well let's take that as like a serious, like what filmmakers do you love and you feel like are like totally honest and you're like who would, like if you were to like put up like your Hall of Fame right now at this particular moment, who would be on it?
It's funny because some of the filmmakers I love, I don't actually love their films. I love them. I love the like a world where they make shit. So it's like Jodorowsky. I love El Topo. I think it's the first hour of El Topo is like my favorite Western. But I like what his approach to life was, and it's all one thing, and it's not like, there's just some people who, you know, it's like, I don't know, some people like are what they do and some people do what they are, and there's a difference. And I feel like Jodorowsky is just this one, it's all one. I feel the same about David Lynch. I love Wild at Heart, but sometimes I'm not like, but I like, a great example is I love Werner Herzog. I want to sit on his lap and have him just say shit. He's like, I'm reading.
I like your hats, Lily.
The internet is like a fog come over us. Yeah, so good. But like, I'm reading this book, A Guide for the Perplexed, and it's got all these essays about all of his filmmaking, which he's made so many fucking films. And I don't like a lot of his films. I find that like I like Grizzly Man, I like Into the Abyss, I like his documentaries because you get him. And that's really what I want, is I want him. He's like the rock star for me. So it's like, I actually know more about his life around making his films than I actually know his films. But his, just like, he was 19 and he traveled down to the Nile and like got a fever and then slept in a shack and a rat bit his cheek and he still has the scar. It's like he didn't eat a banana until he was 17. just like, yeah, he's just a special human being and I like his portal to life. So he's definitely in there. Zemeckis, I love Zemeckis. He's a G. Anybody who would argue that is, I feel like, probably just a little bit miserable. Because Romancing the Stone, Jewel of the Nile, Death Becomes Her, like, fucking Back to the Future alone. If you made that, like,
you're a made man.
And it's hard to separate it from the cultural phenomenon that it is, but that dude was going around for 7 years pitching a film where a guy in the 80s goes back to the 50s and kind of almost fucks his mother.
Yeah.
It's like really subversive and it's like you don't know what you're gonna end up with. Like he was just into this fucking idea of exploring like his own roots and like what, in a really weird way. It's kinky as fuck.
Yeah, imagine that Back to the Future is a thing that didn't exist. And then somebody is like, or you like lived in a completely different country. Yeah. Imagine Back to the Future is made in Poland and somebody's explaining what it is. It's like, what is this movie? This is a huge hit in Poland.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you what this movie's about.
Yeah.
And you heard what it's about, you'd be like, that movie sounds so fucked.
Yeah.
Like, really?
I know.
Yeah, you know. Yeah,
you don't gotta tell me, man. But like, yeah, so I think he's really special. I love Harmony Korine. Cause I love Gummo. That movie, I can remember with like a crazy amount of clarity, like minute to minute details of that film, in a way that like now, like I don't know, like I'll go and see whatever, like the new Mad Max film. It's kind of like a bachelor party. Like I just kind of just remember a few things. I don't really remember what happened. I think I might have had fun, but I don't really know. It's like, and I'm hungover after. And like, but like with Gummo, it's like I can remember the fucking all the specific details. Like, what else? Who else is? I love Lars.
The other Lars, Von Trier.
Yeah, I love you.
Well.
I love Lars.
Right.
Yeah, I'm coming out. Yeah, I love him. I loved Antichrist. It's one of my favorite films ever. I find it really like super optimistic and romantic, which is funny because everybody was like talking about the vagina cutting and how horrible it was. It didn't. The bird in the ground was more stressful for me.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen that movie, I'm assuming.
Everybody here seen Antichrist? Okay, if you haven't, go watch it.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
What else? Who else? I like Lynn Ramsey. She's cool. I really was looking forward to. I was like turned on by the idea of her doing a Western, but you can't. It sounds like it was a real shit show.
Yeah.
Who else? Is that good?
That's I think it's a good start.
Okay.
I think it's a beginning for people for their further study. So when you talk about these movies that you love and inspire you all the time, I know that.
NeverEnding Story.
That's what I was going to bring up on your new movie. You said that you just watch that constantly.
That was during production. I took all the movies that were like El Topo was a reference, and for a few dollars more, Dirty Dancing. There was a lot of things, but then while we were shooting, just my own soul, the only thing I could watch was a NeverEnding Story. But I think that was more for me. It was like the movie of making the movie. It was like Atreyu on a quest to save Fantasia from, like keep going through the swamp of sadness, lose your horse, and just deal with it and go talk to, Morla.
A lot of NeverEnding Story spoilers here, but I think it's important that you're watching it and you're kind of identifying with the hero's quest in your quest to make this movie.
Like that. I feel like making a film is like a vision quest, and we were like on an epic adventure of epic proportions. It was a big movie too. It was like the one I just did, so it was like a big movie where someone was killed almost I feel like every day someone was getting killed or dismembered. Just meaning so like physically. It was like a really physical, big action movie type movie.
I can't wait to see this new movie. Please hurry up and make this movie and finish
I'm on it.
Okay, good. I want to talk a little bit about your process of getting movies made, because just everybody's gotten a window into like some of your working methods. And it's really idiosyncratic, and it's also like really interesting and super exciting. So let's go back to start kind of at the writing process when you go to write a film.
That is it. That's the whole. That's the answer. I think I'm a writer more than anything, and I work. I mean, there was a point where Jason sent me a picture of the scripts. I think I was turning in a new script every 2 days, sometimes before the end of the next day. I'd be like, there's a new draft, and I work on the script like a fucking lunatic. Yeah.
During the shoot, you're making new pages all the time?
No. I think it was a week before we started shooting where I was like, okay, that is the heavy lead anchor spine that's now going to keep me solid. Things change when it's a living thing, so it's like suddenly cloudy, or there's wind, or this doesn't look good, or an actor's like, I think this is what about this? And so, but really it's all grounded in these things happening in this number of scenes. And
so when you start your first draft, do you have a special desk that you sit at, or is there something, do you have superstitions, or is there a particular place where you like to write?
I like to finish my script, and I go to Las Vegas, and I usually around page 55 or so, and I get a room for 5 days, and usually I don't leave for the first 76 hours. I just want to shit it out. I take a boombox, like an iPod dock, bourbon and hard-boiled eggs, and
write this down.
the things I will need. Plus, it's Vegas. You can get anything you want, but I like to save money. Then I shit it out when I feel like I've gotten a good solid, and then I go down to have a steak and play video poker. Sometimes I'll read my script with music in the horse racing desks.
Yeah, the little OTB area there.
It's very peaceful there. There's always like an old dude sitting like down the way, or walk around listening to music from the film, because I like write with music a lot, and so I'd walk around the casino. Vegas is nice because it's a safe incubator of anonymity. You never feel conspicuous. You could be there for any reason. 24 hours a day. It's consistent lighting. It's like a real vacuum of, and it's alive. Like, people are like, why don't you go to the beach or the woods? I'm like, dude, I'd fucking lose my mind if I was in the woods alone. I'd just, you know, like a bear is gonna come rape me, you know? So, yeah, Vegas.
So going to Las Vegas, getting a room for 5 days, this is like amazing. I've never
The
heard.
drive there is good too, because you get like 4 or 5 hours listening to the music, thinking about the story and the scenes, and the drive back too. That's like kind of the most gangster. I talk to my phone and then never listen to it again, actually. But
Just the act of kind of getting it out there into the world and into the safety net.
yeah.
Yeah, then you have it. That's so interesting to think that you do that. And then, okay, so once you've got like a draft of your script, do you share it with collaborators at that point, or do you kind of keep it to yourself until you get through multiple drafts?
I give it to very few people, but like the people that she gets them.
Your producer, Sherry. Yeah.
Yeah, that's also my homegirl. And a few other people. I don't want to send it to a bunch of people.
Sure, yeah.
Plus, like, I mean, it changes so much by, like, even the script that got me my cast, you know, 4 months before I was shooting was, like, forget it completely. I never send electronic copies. They're always on green paper.
So
Because it's going to change, and people are reckless with emailing stuff. And so I just, you know.
Could you get stuck into like an early draft of the script that you really like to change? Like if like a major talent like signed on to it and then didn't want you to change it, could you then be stuck with like an early draft of the script that you don't like?
I'm going space exploring. I think the people that I don't think I make the kind of movies that are, I mean, I'm not like a resistant asshole. I mean, it's a movie is something that's made by many people's, you know, collaboration, but like, you know, it's not a script. A script is something that tells you what, and I had my first movie, and that was really probably even more, it was like, you can see, okay, is this kind of like surrealist, whatever, we're not like playing by the real world rules, we're in this kind of. So it's a good thing. It's like critical, I feel like, for this second one to be, because everyone was kind of like, all right, let's get freaky with a psychedelic cannibal western. You know, it's like, if you would have just started with that, people would be like, what the fuck is this going to be?
Yeah.
You know, like, so, yeah, I didn't have, and actually I work a lot with the people that absorb and become part of all those rewrites, like, Jason, you know, was the first person that I got on board, and he's
Jason
Momoa, and he's like, you know, awesome. They're like really into like building and developing a character, what they are, what their story is, what they wear, everything, and just so talking with him about it and getting his ideas and trusting. You have to trust their instincts. If there's something like they don't like. Get a bone. It's the boner. They need one too.
Yeah.
So
everybody's gotta have a boner.
Someone's feeling a little bit of tingles if they want to talk to you in the first place, and now you're here, and it's just like you can't just fuck them like a, you know. You gotta be like, you know.
Everybody's gotta be happy with like the whole deal.
Are you feeling me? You know, like don't close your eyes and do it. Like open your eyes and look. So, and all of them is really, it's wonderful to see what they're going to bring. Plus you get people, you know, there's some people who, and her, like everybody, it's like the people that are close, it's like I love the juice that they bring. So it's like.
So when you bring in actors who've worked on a billion movies, like Keanu Reeves and Jim Carey, it's like, how hard is it to kind of come across to where specifically those two examples where they are?
I don't think of it like that. I think of it like, it's like to keep going back to the sex, it's just like gonna get boring and old, but so I'll try to think of something else.
But it's the perfect analogy though, so.
It is, but
yeah.
like, with cast, for certain people, there was a feeling of knowing. Like, I don't go here's a list of people, go down the list, this is what's gonna pre-sell this. I refuse to think about, it's a backwards way to look at making art, and I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to go on a vision quest, and I just know that I knew Jim Carey was gonna do the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So he needed to see my last movie, and then he read the script. And when he was like, I wanna meet her, I knew. There was no fraction of, but it's funny because actually, and this is the funny thing about, you do have to be smart and understand agents and things. There was a part in the script that got cut, but it was a character who had a lot of dialogue. A very, you could say, Jim Carrey-ish, okay? Mm-hmm. I kind of tricked everybody in a way because so then he wanted to see it, he read it, and they knew, like, my producers had gone to his agents, and we were like, this is the part for him. And it made sense. And then that morning when I was going to his art studio in Santa Monica to meet him, because I didn't want to completely sandbag my producers, I called her up and said, look, like, I just want you to know I'm going in and I'm going to offer him this other part. Because I don't want him to... And she was like, and this is also the thing of when you have people who trust you. Mm-hmm. And she was like, fuck. I'm like, I'm telling you right now, there's 100% chance of certainty that he's going to do it. And he's going to do it. And she's like, okay. The character that I was going to have him do had very little to say, which is not typical Jim Carrey. Mm-hmm. So... But he did it. He, like, right there, and then I was like, I know. Like,
so there were these, like, moments.
I was like, I actually showed up with a pillowcase on my head too.
You did?
Yeah.
Well, I would assume so.
It had eyes cut out and a face, and I made one for him because I figured, it was for myself. I was like, I'm going to meet Jim Carrey, and it's fucking Jim Carrey, and I need some kind of like,
pillowcase, yeah.
You know, like, dim the lights. Let's get turned on. Like, let's just start like this.
Okay, well, can I just hit pause so we can examine this frame very quickly? You went to go visit Jim Carrey, and like the door opens, and his assistant or whoever opens the door, and you're standing there with a pillowcase over your head with like holes cut out in it. Is that right?
Yes. And had a sad face.
And a sad face.
Uh-huh. Okay. And I was like smiling on the inside. I was like, I'm smiling, but I look sad.
Okay, everybody write that down too. Like as you move forward into your career. But like this is like, that's like such an insane thing to do.
Is this going to be on the internet? Like, is this like a...
We can cut that off of the internet if you want.
Yeah, because actually I realize I'm talking to you guys about like stuff in the script and stuff.
Okay, well, okay.
No,
when we do our final edit.
Reveal.
Huh?
You haven't revealed a single thing.
I didn't.
No.
Okay, good.
I don't care about the pillowcase story. That's fine.
Okay. Because that's like one of the
just,
craziest.
Like, saw the cameras and my body temperature went up like 8 degrees.
I guarantee you, no one has any idea what the movie's about.
Yeah.
Okay. But we're all really interested. I guarantee that.
But yeah, I'm talking about. Because see, like, what you do in life is what you do in art for me. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, I just want to be 100% on. I don't take meetings in places like, you know, I don't want to sit here and feel like I'm in that fucking INS getting, like, grilled about that's not what we're here for. Why are we making films? I'm telling you, I like get a boner for Back to the Future and NeverEnding Story. I want to be like, we're gonna lose a horse in the swamp of sadness, and its eyelashes are gonna break your fucking heart, and it's gonna, you know, like that's what I want. And so I feel like if you go and you get a chance to meet somebody, like, show them who you are, like, let your freak flag fly, you know, like, really though, like, it's like, whatever it was that got you off when you were fucking 9 years old, try to remember what that is and be like that. And that's what, because it's artist to artist, that's what they want too. They want to be kids with their mind, everybody who's making art.
Is this like, would you consider this courage, having the courage to go out there and be as freaky as you are all the time?
I don't know what it is. I think it's courage, but it's also like going back to the Doc Brown. It's more about, the truth of the matter is that you lose the second you want something for external reasons. So like if you go for a meeting with an agent or with anybody and you're like, I want this to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I want the result of this to be this. You're kind of like going away from yourself. And suddenly everything you say, everything you do is tainted by a result, right?
Mm-hmm. And
then you lose the moment. The moment is happening right here, between us, you know? In these high chairs, you know? That's the moment.
Mm-hmm.
If you're sitting there, it's like you have a chance to affect a moment. I got those pillowcases because I wanted to stay with myself. Like, bring it into me. I didn't want to be like, oh, hey, you know, Jim, it's so nice. I loved you, and I do. I fucking love you. You're fucking Jim Carey. Like, you know? Like, liar, liar. Oh, my God. You know? And you get to that, of course. I'm a huge fan, like, of the people that I am with, getting to make art with. And all of them, really. Like, but, like, if you go and you try to, like, you know, look for a result, you really have to be ready to just be like, what is the reason that I'm really here? And it's like, because I just want to do this thing. And like, they have to see that, or else, because even if you do get it somehow, in some other way, where it's like, oh, the deal or the money or what, like, the best way is if they want it the way you want it, and you, because then what you're going to be doing, and you're going to be in it for months together, is like from some core, something that means something. And you know.
So if you had walked in there with the pillowcase and he was just like, no, I'm not riding on this freight train, then that would have been like as good an outcome as having him want to jump on the freight train.
Yes, exactly.
Because he would have been jumping on the freight train for the he would have been jumping off the freight train, and you didn't want him on that freight train.
Do you know how many fucking rejections and no's I've had? It's not like fucking everybody. I've been making shit forever, and it's like, it's not like you have to, like, I just Doc Brown. I read a lot of Bruce Lee too, and that's really the best thing. He's not a filmmaker, but he's an artist at life. If you read Striking Thoughts, there's this book, and I'm telling you, it's the fucking shit. It's a book you'll never stop reading. And it's about creativity, like on a chemical level inside you. Because, like, yeah, you want to be authentic and be in the moment. Like, that's what I want. That's all I want. It has to mean something. It's like 3-5 years of your life to make a film. What the fuck? And then after like 20 years, 4 films, like what are you doing? It's about the moment, you know, that moment of the pillowcase with this dude talking, and he totally got the character why, the one that his agent would have never got it, because they just look at how many lines.
Yeah.
And so that's why I kind of did use a little bit of manipulation to know that I just talked to him about it. But like, you know, he knew. Fucking.
And you knew he knew.
I knew he'd knew. I knew
you knew
he'd
know.
I knew he'd knew.
You knew he was nude.
I knew he'd knew. Let's just keep saying that. Trip out. Just gonna stare at the light. But yeah, like. And I there was something similar and different for like Keanu. I found this airbrush artist. And I had a t-shirt made with his face airbrushed on it. He came to my house.
And you were wearing the shirt.
I didn't actually wear it because I thought it might frighten him. So I showed it to him after a second, and then I made him wear it.
Okay. You're the same size?
No, it was extra large.
Okay.
It was actually a little big for him. A fit, slim man. Yeah. I'm trying to think what other good. There was something similar for all of them. I sent Momoa. He was the first, and he was also like somebody who was like. Another good example, in one of my first producer meetings with everybody who was going to be making and financing and doing the film, because they want to know, who do you want to cast, and blah, blah, blah. I was like, I want Momoa for this character, and they were like, what if he says no? And it was like a boardroom kind of setting, and I was like, he's not going to say no. And they're like, what if he does? And I'm like, then I'm not making the movie. There is nobody else. He won't say no. I'm like, okay. I sent him a box of dirt. It was a very big box of dirt. But it was like deep, and there was dirt in it and things inside of it, and I designed like a lighting thing inside. I had instructions and a switch to go into a dark room or closet with no windows or light, turn on the switch, and then stick your head in the box. It was really fucking cool. That was one of my favorites. It was really heavy. But imagine that a dude got like a box with a switch from an Iranian girl. Go into a dark room and turn the switch. 0 dark 30. But yeah, that was cool.
Let's just keep rolling with stories like this. I can't believe like the way that's like how close like your sort of unconscious will is, you know, to what you're doing, and then you're out here. I mean, I can believe it, of course, but like it's like you're manifesting through your willpower, and it's almost like magic.
But you know, everything you do for this thing that you want to film is a shitload of money, a shitload of time, and it asks a lot of people. Mm-hmm. So it's all coming from how much passion and love you have for it. Like, that's how much I believed in and believed in that adventure that I'm like setting up. Like, this is the magic, the world, the universe we're gonna create together. I want every second of it to be indicative of what we're about to embark on together. Every fucking second. Like, that's the shit. Mm-hmm. And then I'm living my life how I want to be living it. Yeah.
So I think it's fair to say that, like, I mean, I think when we looked at, when the movie came out, a lot of people thought, oh, look at this, like, this young director making her first feature and all this kind of stuff. They should probably just got lucky breaks after lucky breaks and all of that. But, like, you had been honing your will and working on what you were doing for a long time and figuring out what you wanted to do. Like, you had written a number of scripts before.
12.
12 scripts.
And 2 one-hour pilots. And like 9 short films I made.
And so
3 music videos.
3 music videos. And so in the case where you were...
And that doesn't count all the skits and shit as a kid. Like, I count all that stuff. Mm-hmm. I built an epic haunted house in my backyard when I was like 12. That seemed that period. That shit was... I should have charged money.
I really can't resist asking you this. Can you tell me more about that haunted house? Because I want to know about it.
It was really so cool. It was like I suspended rope across the yard in like increments to be the hallways, and then I got plastic tarp. And I just kept being like, Mom, I need more money for plastic. And Mom was like, because it was like 2 weeks, the backyard was like just these plastic black sheets. It had to be black because then at night, because then it's like, but the sky was open, and I just wanted it to be dark in the tunnels. Mm-hmm. And I made like a labyrinthy kind of winding thing of rooms. And then I cut away where I needed a door, you know. Mm-hmm. And then I dressed the rooms. The first room was an attic. And I had my friend Megan be a grandma in a rocking chair, and there was all these books, and then you had to walk around her, and then right when you got close, she'd be like, "Get out of my attic!" Scared the shit out of everybody. And then the next room was Adela was in a coffin raised up, so you had to walk around the coffin, and she's laying in it, and then of course she pop up. And then Susanna was a mad scientist, and she had like jars of like. Had spaghetti, like intestine guts, and like eggs for eyeballs, and she was like, like crazy, like having like, And then I was in it. I was in, I made like a street scene with garbage cans, and I was a homeless guy. And I was like, give me some money, like grabbing money from people. And then there was a cemetery you had to go through at the end with a fog machine. It was really hard though, because the wind would come in. It wouldn't stay, the fog machine. They still are so difficult. Fog
machines,
cool, but
yeah.
And then my cousin Cena was Homie the Clown, and he hit people on the way out.
Homie the Clown was there on that?
Yeah. It was really, really good. Everybody from the neighborhood came. It was really, but it was free.
Mm-hmm.
So dumb. That's like the
why did you
point.
charge money?
I needed somebody to like, you know.
You needed a producer.
My mom said that though. My mom was like, oh, because you never saw what it was going to be until it was fully, like everybody was in it.
Mm-hmm.
At the last second before showtime, and then my mom was like, "Oh, why didn't you charge $1?" You know, I could have gotten, my money back for my investment.
Right.
Instead, she just had to clean the fucking mess. The next day, we were like, and it was like all muddy, and the grass was ruined, but it was really epic.
Wow, that sounds great. And in a certain way, I think there might be a metaphor for like show business and filmmaking in that story.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Making a film that's
You're
it.
still making haunted houses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only now you got somebody to tell you like to charge money. So,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
When we had like the greatest like conversation sitting outside the airport yesterday, and you were sitting in a wheelchair, and people kept coming, and I think they needed the wheelchair. I didn't tell you this, but they would look over, and you were sitting in the wheelchair, and they're like, "Oh well, I guess there's no wheelchair for grandma." But we were having this conversation.
I didn't realize that.
I didn't want to bother you. We were having such a great conversation. I'm just kidding about grandma. But you had a great metaphor because like you were saying, you were talking about filmmakers and people who are like out there kind of creating their career, and you said something about like, why do I walk past that homeless guy and I don't even pay attention?
Or the homeless guy.
Yeah, like so like.
It is so like you're all homeless people, and
so filmmakers, you're all homeless people.
yeah, you are, and like if you look at it's America, it's like there's a lot of homeless people, and for me, it's like there's the homeless guy who you see from a block away, and you cross the street to avoid. And you can't explain it, but you just are like, I'm not even gonna fucking look at that guy. I'm gonna do my whole you don't exist thing. And then there's the guy over there who's got like fucking 50 people around him, and he's silver, and he's doing his thing, and he's like gathered the crowd. It's really that. It's harnessing that. It's like the guy that's shoving it in your face that like is entitled and thinks like you fuck that guy. Don't be like that. Like, and it's hard because we like have this, there's one aspect of it, it's an undeniable aspect, and the hardest part is like reeking of the desperation of wanting to like make it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that. You're fucking out. Like, if you give into that, you've already lost. Like, you just can't. You gotta fucking find your little, put on a show. Every meeting you have with anybody, if you're just sitting there thinking about how you want them to read your script, nobody wants to read your fucking script.
Mm-hmm.
Like, ask them something about themselves, get into a real human interaction, and find boners. Look for boners.
Mm-hmm.
If you can, I guarantee you, if you can stoke a boner out of someone, even just a chub, for a second, they're gonna remember you more than if you're just like, I had this great thing, and here, give them your log line. It's like, it's just not, like, you're not being the guy that's bringing it in,
Mm-hmm.
like, so, and it's hard. It takes, like, doing it the wrong way to get to finding your freaky badunka, whatever, how you like to dance, but it's important. It's one of the most important.
And for a lot of people who are toting scripts
Everybody
around.
who's in this business knows it. That's the thing. It's like you can instinctually feel it when someone's coming at you and they want something from you. Everybody wants something. It's like, but like, let's just assume everybody wants something. Cut that out of the equation and just be two fucking human people. And then what is there? And you don't really know that it's also the result thing. Is like, you think having a meeting or something is going to result in someone writing you a check or saying, yeah, like, let's make the picture, you know? It doesn't fucking work that way, you know? It's like people want to be around people they want to be around. That's the first thing. And so it's like just having that. And you don't want to be, and you shouldn't want it either. It's like someone who's just a fucking... I remember when I first moved to LA, I took this like... Right before I started at UCLA, I took this like filmmaking, blah, blah, blah. Some dickhead like agent guy like was teaching a seminar about like the business, you know? And I went to this thing and I paid the $50 and sat in the room and listened to this guy talk about taking meetings. And he had been an agent and now he wrote some book and was like that kind of dickhead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now he knows everything, yeah.
And I remember going up to him after, because I'll always do that. If I do those things or if someone was coming, I'd go up after and be like, hey, what's up? Just like, nice to meet you. Not like asking for anything, but just to say something. What do you think? What do you think about, like, what would you say to me? I'm just curious, like, just off first glance. And he was like, your fucking hair, just like, what is this jacket? You look like a fucking clown. And he talked like that. And I was like, you know, that's the kind of people you're going to be sitting there with. It's like, fuck those people. Fuck him. Fuck you. Like, you know, go home and watch your porn and jerk off. Fuck off, you know? Like, I mean, I do that too, but nothing wrong with that, really. But you know what I mean? Like, I just...
Yeah, it's like there really does seem to be like a whole, you have to, you can, if you choose to, navigate through like a whole lot of phoniness, or you can just be authentic, and maybe you don't actually end up being a filmmaker. Maybe that's not actually your calling. I'm talking to people who are hauling around, you know, a briefcase full of scripts, maybe, and maybe where your boner is someplace else. You know, maybe after like a few years of hauling around scripts, you're not into that. But if it is, then maybe you do.
But like the first script I wrote, the second script I wrote, it was this Iranian drama about, I had gone to Iran for a summer and I had this experience and I felt inspired. And this was before I was living in San Francisco. I'd gone to art school, I was teaching art and playing in a band. I wasn't like trying to be a filmmaker. I wrote this thing because I wanted to, because I'd gone there and it got me into all the film school, and then I was like, I'm gonna go to film school, I wanna move to LA, and that's a good way to do it. It got me into the film schools, it won this screenwriting competition, and it was like this thing that had won prizes, and got me into film school, and I was like, okay, now this is a movie I should make, and at one point I had producers, and in the end, I didn't really want to make that movie. It's not really, I wanted to write the story, and I did, but like, it wasn't, God, how fucked would I have been if I would have somehow gotten the financing and showed up for day one and had to point the camera at those people saying and doing that. But then scenes from that film ended up in Girl. Like ideas and characters. This guy stole a cat out of a yard in that film. And that ended up being the opening of Girl. So it's like all the things that you do, it's like mushroom spores that continue to one thing, spores of 5 things, and you just kind of let them keep going. It's not like any one thing should be the final thing, you know? No one meeting is the end all be all. I don't have an agent or a manager, and I'm trying to not. I have a really good lawyer.
Good. That's good. I think you're definitely on the right track. I think let's ask the audience for a few questions here. Who in the audience has a question that they'd like to ask? Nobody. So well. Oh, you do. Yes.
What's the budget for A Girl Walks Home Alone that night, and how do you get financing for it?
Oh God, dude, fucking.
You want to talk about money stuff afterwards.
I didn't get into this to talk about
Yeah.
money. It's hard. The budget was low. I did do some crowdfunding at the beginning to get like some mojo going, and I was the silver guy drawing the crowd. I wasn't like, please everybody give me money. I was like, woo! And like that crowdfunding campaign that I did to get myself going was a movie in and of itself. I thought of it that way. And yeah, I don't want to talk about money more than that. It fucking sucks. You need it. You gotta like get it. Dance, strip, take your clothes off. Do whatever it takes.
Sometimes literally. Yeah. Right here.
I wanted to know about the scene in A Girl where the White Lies song is playing. What was the, because you were saying that you listen to music when you write.
Yeah.
Was that song always there?
Yeah.
That scene is just so cinematic. It's beautiful.
Yeah. I love that song. That's what the music gives you so much. It's like, so when I wrote the script, all that music that was in the film was in the script. There was actually more, 3 times as much. But I had to cut it all out because it couldn't be that long. And the White Lies, some of those artists I knew, and so I talked to them and I knew I had the songs. The White Lies I didn't know, so I figured out who their manager was. Managers are usually a lot more personal and easy to talk to, so I don't normally go to a publicist or agent or anything. Trying to get to them, to the White Lies, but if you can't, the manager, talk to him. I wrote him a fucking sonnet with visual, audio, visual, and really, I was like, this is gonna be the most awesome moment in romantic, your song is going to be falling in love, in a movie. And there's no other song for a vampire falling in love than that fucking song. And I was breaking down why the lyrics were and they're cool, well, we'll run it by the band. And then I actually didn't get that song locked into place, so I shot the film. I was just I know that's gonna happen. I know I'm gonna get that song. And I shot the film, I played it on set. I was everybody had the track list for the movie way before. Everybody. Editor, DP, effects designer, all my cast, and then I was in post, and they were coming to LA to play a show, and I went to the show and met with them after, and the bass player and me were good time! But by then I had the scene, so I sent it, and they were yeah, cool, they're British. Yeah, right. And yeah, I got it.
So just to stick a pin in one of the lessons here is if you want to collaborate with somebody and work with them, try to reach them directly. Yeah. And if you can't reach the people directly, then maybe you find a personal manager. Agents way down the line, any kind of personal manager or assistant. But really try to ideally get in touch with the people direct, which sounds crazy, but you can almost always do that. If you try hard enough. You find a way to get to them, even if you know a friend of a friend.
Facebook, if it's whatever the fuck, Twitter, finding the manager, showing up at a show, finding a way to, and show them love and make it but, and even still, now, it's there's conversations and things that I'm no, I want to talk to them. I'm going to do it, still, because when it comes to time to talk, no one's going to talk about your film or your idea or your thing the way you are. No matter how good of whoever they are. So.
Yeah, and if anybody refers you to an agent, nothing's ever going to happen, probably, unfortunately.
Yeah, agents pay attention to certain things. Their radars are, and they have a job too, and they're they're doing, it's all, at some point, it's more in your interest to try to understand how they think, and then you can understand what's going on there.
So how they think in terms of looking at their percentage.
Yeah, what they're looking at. It's not just their percentage. They're they get. They get a lot of stuff coming in. A lot of stuff is garbage, and a lot of stuff is So it's they have to pay attention too to certain things.
And they want their client to know they're watching out for them and watching out for what they need.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And sometimes, and of course, sometimes they're no, I want them to do something that's going to make millions of dollars, because that's, so, but.
Cool, so that's an important lesson. Right over here, yeah.
Did you ever get a chance to see Jodorowsky's Dune, the documentary about him trying to make the movie Dune?
That's correct. Jodorowsky's
Dune.
Yeah, I watched it 7 times a week.
It was great, yeah.
I made everybody I loved watch it. I made my dad watch it.
You made every crew member watch it.
I made every crew member watch it. When Megan Ellison first came over to my house, I made her lasagna and made her watch it with me.
That's a great night.
Yeah.
Well, I brought that because it seems like a lot of your stuff you've been working on, you've been making from original scripts that you've been coming up with. And that seemed to be what he was doing a lot throughout his career at that point. Then he wanted to take kind of pre-existing material, this big sci-fi epic that was pretty popular at the time, and make it into something. Do you have any desire to ever take something that was originally someone else's idea and like work with the property, or do you just always want to come 100% from within you?
I haven't yet. I don't know what the future holds, but if the well runs dry. But everyone's different. I've got a lot of stuff that I know what I want to do next, and I knew when I made Girl that I wanted to do The Bad Batch. Like, I knew my next thing, and so it's a nice thing. And for me, I like to make the whole thing, so we'll see, though.
But like Marvel overcame and was like, do you want to make Spider-Man 5?
I don't. I read an article. Did you see that article about Spider-Man? They talked about me in that article.
No,
about. It was this like really interesting article about why women aren't doing the thing, and they're doing Spider-Man again.
Finally.
And it was like, Ana Lily Amirpour just made this like black and white vampire film, and like, why wouldn't you go to her with her like fresh thing, and she would really bring a 90s feeling to, and I was like, it's cool that someone somewhere is like, yeah, like let's give, but like the mistake there is like to think that me making Spider-Man is in any version of any one of my fantasies of anything that I'm doing. I really like could fuck all. Like I don't want to see that shit again. I liked it when Tobey Maguire, like it was good. Like leave it. Sam Raimi and Tobey Maguire, that shit was awesome. And now I don't even know what's going on.
It's terrible.
It's like an acid trip gone bad, like making Spider-Man. But I don't really have a boner for any Marvel stuff. And I don't have an interest in going into a corporation. It's like your favorite restaurant, some mom and pop's restaurant. The chef there makes some crazy ass truffle, whatever the fuck, makes you come in your pants. Do you want him to go work at the Cheesecake Factory?
I do not want him to work at the Cheesecake Factory.
Don't work at the Cheesecake Factory.
Maybe there will be less people eating the food at that little spot, But they love the shit out of it. And there will always be business.
That was great. Right over here, yeah.
So you went to school. Do you feel like that actually helped you, or do you really feel like you got the most on-the-job experience just making shit since you were little?
Any place that's dedicated to you thinking about your ideas is a good place. I don't think there's a single answer to that. I didn't go to film school thinking it was going to give me the keys to the kingdom. I was in San Francisco and I wanted to move to LA because I knew that LA is where you make movies. So, and it's a nice way to go in. Like, I didn't want to go just wait tables and try to, so for me it was cool like that. And screenwriting was cool because I didn't want to do directing because it's like, if I'm going to spend this much money and this much time, I don't want like 4 shitty shorts. I want 5 feature-length first draft scripts, and that's what I had. And I made 4 shitty shorts. So, it's like you can always go make the shitty shorts. But like, I wouldn't, my editor now, Alex O'Flynn, he edited Girl, and he's editing my film now. I met him there. I didn't make a lot of friends. I don't have a lot of close friends, but the few that I have are like, 2 of them are from there. So, it's your, I don't know what your particular situation is, but I think but it's like fucking. So I would just think of it like, you can't teach fucking. I can show you a diagram and be like this, and it goes in here. And then, but you have to do it. To figure out how you like to do it. So
That gives you a chance to do it like is kind of all
But
day.
in the class, you might be like, oh, it's called a thingamajigger. Ah, yes! And it's right next to the, whatchamacallit. Interesting. Good to know.
Right over here, yeah.
I really appreciate your MO of like authenticity and being true to your artistic integrity. And I guess I want to know like how you navigate through maybe some of the inherent like BS bullshit that's out there. You know, how do you stay true to yourself? You know, like does that make sense? Because I feel like as a filmmaker, I meet a lot of people that maybe aren't as like, you know.
How do you, with your integrity, how do you how do you make your way through a world of shit?
I have a very sensitive sycophant radar, and I have no interest in it.
That's one of the things I love about you.
I don't want to go. You know, like it's like something about Hollywood. There's this feeling of like an accident, like a car accident, and everyone's head turns towards it. And then like there's the people who don't actually see the accident, but they're looking where all the heads are turned. That's pretty much Hollywood, like in a general sense. And so it's like you don't really know what you're looking at or why you're looking in a certain direction, except for the fact that everyone's looking. And just like, don't do that. Like, just fucking don't. Be alone and suffer through the isolation periods of and not like absorbing yourself and hoarding all the stuff, and work on the fucking DeLorean. And work on and pay attention to the people who inspire you. Be around people who inspire you. Read books that inspire you. There's so much in the universe to get inspired by. Like, do it. Don't be a fucking lazy, you know, don't look for a shortcut. There's no fucking shortcut. Like, how does have integrity? I don't fucking know, man. It's so hard. God. You know? It is, though. It's fucking hard. It's like, do the things that, like, feed your soul and make you feel free and happy and ride it out.
We've gone in a little bit into overtime, but let's take a couple more right here. Yeah.
Sort of as a follow-up to that, in a field so dominated by dudes, what's been your experience both as a woman and a woman of color?
I love men. Oh, you're right. I don't represent women of color. I represent myself. I'm a really strange creature. Thinking in terms of yourself, that way you're already, those philosophies, feminism, blah, they are the fucking disease for which they claim to be the cure. Just don't fucking think like that. You're a weird creature on the earth. That's what you are. That's what we all are. Like, don't do it. Like, I don't give a shit about what parts I have or what he has. We all have neat junk. It's all different.
Let's take one more right back here. Yeah.
I was wondering about the balloon dance that happens in Girl.
Oh, the balloon dance.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was if you wrote that in originally, or if that sort of evolved later, what that was about for you. I thought that was one of my favorite scenes. I've been thinking about it a lot.
Because I'm in a room with filmmakers and I'm like kind of gonna talk to you, because like normally I don't like to explain stuff too much, but I'm gonna give you that character had a bunch of vignettes.
Yeah.
And was kind of like this super surrealist, like echoing certain themes of the love story or whatever was going on. And you know, it had to fucking get cut because the movie sucked with it. But I didn't want to cut the balloon dance because it's epic.
Yeah, agreed.
It's all on the DVD if you want to check it out.
There are deleted scenes. But it ended up being like, you know, the lesson of like, you know, you've got 24 days, 30 days, whatever days, you're gonna have a camera pointing at those people saying and doing shit. Make sure that it's all like tethered to the A story in a way that's, for me, because it broke my heart to cut some. It was all so cool, and I loved that character, but I got to keep a couple, so it was good, and maybe just the right amount. It was just the fate of that particular movie, but he had so many scenes. Rockabilly.
They're in the DVD.
They are in the DVD.
So every time I have a guest and a guest comes out and helps us with shows and comes out and does a thing like this, I'm gonna say thank you, and I'm always gonna mean it. But what I gotta say is like, Lily, this has not just been like kind of like an okay fun thing that we'll all remember. This has been a thing that we'll all really take to heart, and this is a thing that like I think everybody in this room and everybody that was at the screening has changed a little bit. And I think that has felt no. Honestly, I think we've all like really learned a lot from your enthusiasm and from everything that you said. And so I really, really want to thank you so much for coming and doing this. So thank you very much.
Yeah,
my pleasure. Do you guys know thank you to All right. We're gonna go take acid. See you later.
I already did.
we've gone in a little bit into overtime, but let's take a couple more right here. Yeah.
Sort of as a follow-up to that, in a field